And welcome live inside the historic Hobart Arena in downtown Troy, Ohio. As we get set to begin the 2021-2022 season inside the historic Hobart Arena, what will end up being the 25th season of Troy Trojans hockey as we are underway. The Trojans in their home white uniforms with the brand new white helmets, as that was picked up by the Clay Eagles from suburban Toledo, Ohio. Oregon, Ohio to be exact, as this one played around the Dashers back inside Oregon territory. Picked back up by the Eagles. They'll step across the red stripe, but poked back off by the Trojans. That was Gavin Burris at the tail end of his shift, is able to get it clear. And now here come the Eagles back the other way at a shot, as that hit off the waffle board of starting netminder Noah Carver and trickled back off the end boards as the Trojans are able to chip that one away. Scooped up by Miles Schumann, and that'll clear all the way down for an icing call now with 7:14:09 to go here in this opening period from the historic Hobart Arena in downtown Troy. If you're just joining us on the Troy Trojans Hockey Network presented by Team Gear, glad to have everybody along for this one. A Friday night special, a non-conference preseason exhibition game between the Troy Trojans and the Oregon Clay Eagles. As they face off inside the Eagles zone on the glove side, taken and won by Brady Smith. Right back to the point as the captain, Mike McGurk, wins it back into the corner. Freshman forward line playing it ahead as this one across the Eagle line. Here's Smith off the near side boards, kept in at the line, near side, deflection, he scores! And so just like that at the 13:50 mark of the first period, a deflection short side makes this a 1-0 hockey game. As the Trojans, short by one already, as the deflected backhander off the far side. Played back around as we listen for the official word from public address announcer Roger Mumpower. Eagles will clear this one up near ice. Icing signaled as Carver will come out of the net to play it. And it's touched up by the Trojans, and we'll get now a stoppage with 13:20 to go. And they had a couple seconds tick off the clock on that one, too. And that appears to be what the referee is going to take a look at. They ticked a couple seconds off. And so referee Eric Schreiner from the Southwest Ohio High School Hockey League going to take a look at that one. And the faceoff is going to be back inside the Oregon zone as they reset the clock to 13:17. And it's one out by the Eagles. Held on at the line. Big hit there, as that was knocked away at the last minute by Colin Burkhart. Back in behind the net. Scooped up by Gavin Burris. He'll play it out of the trapezoid and around. Garrity shoots just wide. Rebound back into the far side. Now back to the corner for Burkhart. He'll hold on the half boards. Takes the hit. Tries to force it down on the half boards and does. As this one picked up by the Eagles, try to clear, intercepted momentarily by the Trojans. Back to the point, and there's a shot by Lombardo wide right. Back into the far side. Top of the circle, deflected off a shin pad out in front. As the Eagles will scoop it out and ice it all the way down as it's scooped up by Burkhart. Right back in. Trojans will tag up at the line. And with 12:29 to go in this hockey game, first period, 1-0 Eagles in the lead off an early deflection. Past Noah Carver, the Trojans will step in, and that will be an offsides call. With 12:19 now to go here in this opening period. Again, if you're just joining us, the Oregon Clay Eagles striking early against the Troy Trojans, 1-0 up on the big boards here at Hobart Arena in the season opener a non-conference exhibition game between a North Hockey Conference and Southwestern Ohio High School Hockey League opponent. And so with 12:07 to go, faceoff will come back inside the Eagle zone, and the Trojans are getting lots of opportunities. And Garrity had that one shot that went just wide right on his last shift. So the Trojans getting acclimated to the new lineup. 5 new skaters in the lineup for the Trojans tonight. Still trying to adjust to that as a drive from the far point by Mike McGurk is held on. And that's what they were really expecting from McGurk this season. That big cannonading blast from the point, and we saw our first look at what he has been honing over the summer months. As we'll try this one again, Eagles get last change and will throw a fresh pair of legs out on the ice for this faceoff. Inside their zone with 12 minutes even to go in this opening period. As it's won back by Matty Logan, a drive, hits off a pad out in front, knocks loose through the slot, and the Eagles able to get that out to center ice before Lombardo, right back to Paff. Gabby Paff, the sophomore, fires it back inside the Eagles zone, one of 2 women on this hockey team, along with Matty Logan, who gives chase on the far side boards. Eagles, big open ice check, as a delayed penalty coming, and it looks like we may indeed get a first penalty here of this hockey game. 11:33 to go here in this first period. The captain, Mike McGurk, off the ice for interference. 2-minute minor penalty. And so the Trojans will be on their first AccuTool penalty kill of the season. And so as we have a little bit of a delay here, head coach Rick Szabo is going to put a fresh pair of legs out as it looked to be an equipment issue with Gavin Burris. And so Garrity's going to go in his stead as this one won back on the far side boards. Picked back up by Quinn Garrity. He'll get it ahead. Now for Cam Lombardo. Gets it back into the far wing corner as Lombardo plays it around. Fakes a shot. Gets it up the point now for Burkhart. Right wing side. Through a skate as that one knocks its way back into the far corner. Right back now for Gavin Burris. Fresh from the bench. He'll play it into the corner for Cameron Lombardo, who digs for it down low. Off the kick plate. Still trying to battle it up the boards now on the half wall. Finally squirts its way out to center ice as it's regrouped by freshman Brady Smith, who quickly fires it back in. And the Trojans will complete their line change now with 10:48 to go in the first period. 1:13 remaining on the first. AccuTem power play. He scores! And just like that, we're going to mark down the first goal of the year as a shorty with 10:43 to go. A short-handed goal makes us a tie hockey game. And as you hear Roger Mumpower downstairs, Quinn Garrity. And it looks like we're going to get another penalty, this time to even things up at 10:26. As number 18 for the Eagles rolled off the ice. That'll be a 4-on-4 hockey. For another 50 3 seconds, the remainder of McGurk's penalty. And so we'll skate 4 on 4 as this one plays back inside the Trojans' end as Lombardo hits it off the boards now out to center ice. Cherry picking ahead was Ian Francis, not as he couldn't hold on to it. Here comes the Eagles back the other way into the far wing corner. 10:05 to go here in this first period. Now a 1-1 score. Played back inside the Eagles zone is back to get it is Brady Smith. He'll play it back into the near wing corner and up the dashers it goes. Under 10 minutes now to go here in this opening period. 1-1 is a deflection out in front. Couldn't get it as out in front was Ian Francis, not trying to knock it loose with that hand-eye coordination. He'll go back into the trapezoid to play it behind the net. Tries an outlet pass. Had it stripped away at the last minute. As this one picked back up by the Eagles on the near side corner. Under a little bit of pressure from Smith. He'll work it ahead as now the Trojans return to full strength with an abbreviated power play for now 3 minutes and 55 seconds remaining on that 5-minute major penalty. As here's a stretch pass the other way. Now for Burris across the line. Rashad save, rebound off the side of the cage. Back off the end boards and out from behind the net. That one will trickle around the dashers now for Burris. Fans on the first attempt. Sends it back to the point for Burkhart. Left wing side. Backhands it back into the corner for Burris as he'll wrap it around now for the captain, Mike McGurk. Posts up top of the circle. Right wing side. He didn't like what he saw. And he'll send it back behind the net. 8 minutes and 46 seconds to go and counting in this 1-1 first period from the historic Hobart Arena. And the pressure was too much as the Eagles forced to ice it all the way down and wholesale changes for both clubs. Here comes Colin Burkhart for the Trojans across the line, 3 wide. Right wing side, top of the circle. Shoots, rebound! Couldn't get it in time. As this one right back into the far side, centering feed. Burkhart shoots, bouncing puck, didn't make it in time as the rebound out from in front of the net. Nobody was there to see it, but McGurk picks it up, sets it back up. 8 minutes and 8 seconds to go. Loose puck on the side of the cage, right back into the corner as the Trojans still on the power play for over 2 minutes. Here's a shot from McGurk, hits off a shin pad and mercifully makes it all the way back down inside the Trojans' end, and that'll allow clubs to get fresh legs on the ice as the Trojans' power play continues. Brought to you by Clopay, America's favorite garage door. As they'll work it out to center ice, icing signal, Lombardo stretch pass the other way, as Joey Brussel had the right idea, gets tripped up behind the play, and that'll bring up a whistle now with 7:32, and it looks like the Trojans are going to have a 2-man advantage with 7 minutes and 32 seconds to go. Already 2 minutes and 6 seconds remaining on number 18's 5-minute major. And it's going to be a 5-on-3 man advantage now for the Trojans. As the faceoff will remain inside the Eagle zone. Here's the draw, one back cleanly. Eagles trying to clear, and they do. They'll work it out to center ice. Is giving chase is Crawford. Jack Crawford, in his second year in a varsity uniform, plays that one up ahead. Now here comes the other way. Ian Francis, not a shot. Loose puck, shoots, scores! Welcome to the big leagues, Cooper! A power play goal. Seven minutes and 13 seconds to go in this first period. It is a 2-1 hockey game, thanks to Cooper Sexton's first varsity goal in his career. Well, they gave it to the wrong player, but I'm sure that one will get corrected. We'll fix that one in post. And so as play continues, a 2-1 hockey game, 6 minutes and 42 seconds. Here's the shot. Garrity had his stick lifted at the last moment as it plays around. Unofficially, Francis not getting the goal. That will be reviewed as the shot wide off the ice. From this angle and on the replay, it was Cooper Sexton's goal. And so we'll see how quickly they can get that one changed in the stats. Played around off the shin pad. That one will clear all the way down. And it's inside Trojan territory. Delayed penalty coming. And the Trojans are going to get one right here, as that looks like it's going to be an interference call again. Once again, the captain, Mike McGurk, the culprit. 2-minute minor for interference will even things up now. 4-on-4 as the faceoff comes back inside the Trojans' end. And so the Trojans quick to ice it all the way down, icing the call. And since it is 4-on-4, somebody forgot to get the memo there on the faceoff that icing still apply. And so the faceoff stays inside the Trojan zone. A little maintenance there with the net from the referee, Eric Schreiner. And the faceoff won cleanly by the Eagles. Top of the circle, stripped away by Lombardo, though, as he'll work it out to center ice. Under 6 minutes now to go here in this opening stanza. 2-1, the Trojans in the lead. If you're just joining us from the historic Hobart Arena in downtown Troy, Ohio. As this one's going to work its way back to Brady Smith. A shot, rebound off the inside post. They said no goal, and that one's going to be high off the end glass. A close one if I've seen one. Back to Burkhart. 1 second, and the Eagles return to full strength and now have a power play. 5 minutes and 27 seconds to go. 1:13 on that penalty to McGurk. And the AccuTool penalty kill brought to you by AccuTool in Troy, Ohio. Smith can't control. Back to the Eagles. Too wide across the line. In onside, top of the circle. Wrister played by Carver. Rebound back into the near wing corner. Played up to Dasher. Still trying to battle for it down low. Knocked away on that clearing pass. They'll pick it up from behind the net and around the boards near side. And the Trojans ice this one free of charge this instance. Just in time to get fresh legs out for both clubs. Handled by Carver. Icing waved off as it's around the Dashers. Picked back up by the Eagles in front of their own bench. Wrapped around out from behind the net. They'll play it at the blue line. Poked in by Crawford. Knocked away at the last minute by Gavin Burris, who wisely elects to kill more time on this Troy Trojan penalty kill with just 13 seconds to go. And so with 4 minutes and 25 seconds to go in this first period, that one's going to come up and out of play for another souvenir puck brought to you by Team Gear, the official spirit store of the Troy Trojans. 4:23 now to go as the faceoff in the neutral zone. Won cleanly by the Trojans and forced back inside the zone. They'll work it back around the Dashers out from behind the net. Trojans returning to full strength as McGurk, fresh from the penalty box, brings it back. 4:05 and counting in the opening period. Fresh legs for the Trojans. Delayed penalty coming. And we're going to get the call now with 3 minutes and 58 seconds to go. And the Trojans are going to go back on the power play as number 17 for the Eagles once again back in the penalty box. It's going to be a 2-minute minor for tripping. And so that'll bring up the Clopay power play for the second time tonight. And off this draw, right back to McGurk. Left wing side, down low into the corner. Tried to play it ahead to Cameron Lombardo. Out from behind the net. Burris to Lombardo, right wing corner. This low cycle intercepted, picked up by Joey Brussel. Loose puck in the crease, shoots, scores! Three minutes and 40 seconds to go here in this first period. And it is a 3-1 hockey game. And it's won again by the Trojans inside the zone. Lombardo tripped up. Gabby Paff with the shot. Couldn't get it in time. Gavin Burris getting credit for the goal, his first of the year. And Lombardo's going to get picked up. And Joey Brussel rounding it up with the assists. As with 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go, this one will squirt out to neutral ice. Back to McGurk. He's going to step in. Offsides is the call. And so we will get a stoppage now with 3 minutes and 5 seconds to go here in this first period. 3-1, the Trojans in the lead. And so out through neutral ice on the far side, they'll play it ahead. Nearly got a piece of rookie assistant coach Preston Howes. Had his head sticked up there in his debut tonight between the bench. As this one right back to Brady Smith off the side of the cage and around on the near side. Played it out ahead. Tries to work it free. And again off the glass. Tipped around the boards. Played up high, now out to center ice as it's picked up by Colin Berghardt. Waits for the remaining players to clear as the Trojans signal a change. They will get it, and the Eagles quick to fire it all the way down. Icing signaled, and icing the call now with 2 minutes and 17 seconds to go. Here in this first period, if you're just joining us, it was the Clay Eagles that struck first off a redirection, beating sophomore netminder Noah Carver on glove side to make it 1-0 before the Trojans have scored 3 unanswered goals as we approach the waning minutes of this opening period of the season. Glad to be back inside the barn, and I'm sure the players are as well, as a good, healthy Friday night crowd on hand tonight inside Hobart Arena. As this one worked around back into the right wing corner. Under 2 minutes now to go here in the first period as Sexton works it across. Unofficially got his first goal as a Troy Trojan. Still waiting for that one to be corrected on the score sheet as Schumann throws his man into the Dashers inside the zone. Played back around on the left wing side. Out from around the boards now on the far wing. Picked up by Brady Smith. He'll carry it out before losing it in his skate. Sends it across for Cooper Sexton. Still trying to get some of those freshman jitters out. As you can see, that line of Francis Knott, Cooper Sexton, and Brady Smith working together, trying to feel out the varsity game in their first varsity hockey game in their career. And doing well, may I add, as this one played by Schumann out to center ice. 1 minute now to go here in this opening period. Played inside the Eagle zone in front of the bench. Trojans finish their wholesale change. As this one hit off by Berghardt, he'll fire it all the way down. And now we will get a stoppage with 47.4 seconds to go. And the faceoff comes. Back inside the Trojans' end. Played off the high glass. Held in at the point on the far wing before this one chips out in front. That one's going to be offsides. And offsides is the call. And so we'll do this one all over again with 33. And the referee, Eric Schreiner, is going to spot that faceoff. And it's won cleanly by the Trojans back inside the neutral zone. 25 seconds to go. That was offsides, but play's going to continue as it's touched up by the Eagles. Makes its way across the red stripe and in on the Trojan side before it's picked up. Now by Gavin Burris across the line all by himself before he gets picked off. 10 seconds to go. And so this one stopped by Crawford. Shot deflected. Loose puck. And so at the end of 15 minutes of hockey, it is the Troy Trojans 3, the Clay Eagles 1, off of 3 unanswered goals by the Trojans. And so as the players get their water here, it was a very good first period for the Trojans. And if you're just joining us, it is a 3-1 hockey game in the first intermission between the Trojans and the Oregon Clay Eagles from the Northeast Hockey Conference, just in the Toledo area. And of course, since this is the 25th season of Ohio High School Athletic Association hockey, it is Rick Szabo breaking in a brand new assistant coach this year. First-year head coach Preston Howes, a 2007 Troy High School graduate and former Troy Trojan himself, taking the place of Carl Mick, who is also in the building tonight, sneaking in unnoticed, along with some other dignitaries from around Troy and the Troy City Schools, including Superintendent Chris Piper, who we thank for visiting and being a part of this opening night festivities. As play continues, both clubs switching ends, Trojans in their home white uniforms, with the brand new white helmets with the silver cages. Picked up by Smith. He'll rush up open ice. Loose puck off the side of the cage. Played back into the corner. Controlling it out from behind the net. This one scooped up by the Eagles. They'll work it up ahead. Offsides is the call. And so with 30 seconds ticking off the clock here, in this second period, the faceoff will remain inside the neutral zone. And always glad to have Roger Mumpower give us a shameless plug or two, as we're happy to have you along for the ride tonight as well. 3-1 Trojans in the lead as this one played around. Here's a deflection. Logan had it, but Maddie just had it hop off her stick at the last second. Trojans back into the far corner. Played back at the point for McGurk. He'll work it ahead as that's going to be touched up now for an icing call, or an offsides call, With 13:59 to go here in the second period, perhaps the best chance yet for Maddie Logan to get on the score sheet, and it just hopped right off her stick at the last second. And so the chances are there. You can see head coach Rick Szabo giving her the look like, you had that one. The hockey gods will get even. As play continues now for Burris. Sidesteps top of the circle into the slot. Still with possession. Turns. Fires it off the high glass. Rebound. Scooped up by the goaltender. And he will hold on. .45 now to go here in the second period. 3-1 Trojans still in the lead, getting a lot of pressure on the Eagles netminder. As this one won by Clay. They'll work it up the ice. Stripped away in front of the penalty box. As the expert off-ice official Tim Francis ducks for cover at the last moment. Picked up by Burkhart. Shoots and scores! And just like that, it is a 4-1 hockey game. And so the Eagles try to clear their own zone and cannot. Finally regrouped as they'll move it up ice. Colin Burkhart getting credit for the goal with a large cheering section in 27 as Gavin Burris gets the first helper and Quinn Garrity the second helper as College crew sitting in section 27. Certainly loving that one as Ian Francis Knott picks it up on the far side. With the puck, loose puck bounces off the high glass, works it out from behind the net in the trapezoid now. Free and clear in the slot as it's knocked away. Here's Burkhart, low on the ice, intercepted, and he'll clear as this one is going to be a delayed penalty. And so the whistle now with 12:37 to go is going to take Colin Burkhart in for an interference call. And they're actually going to call it leg checking, a type of interference. And that puts Colin Burkhart into the penalty box. And we'll cue up the Clopay penalty kill for the Trojans. Brought to you by Clopay, the official garage door of the Troy Trojans. And so the play continues inside the Eagles' end. That one wide of the net. 12:26 to go in this 4-1 Trojans lead. They'll play it all the way down free of charge. No icing called. As this one wrapped back around the Dashers. Now for Smith up the wing. Lombardo plays it right back to Smith. Centering feed to McGurk, a shot. That one wide of the net. High and head hunted back to Lombardo. Can't get it back into the corner as here come the Eagles back the other way. Works it free and clear across the line as he'll pump it into the near wing corner. 11:53 to go as we approach the 11 mark of this second period. Played out and held on by the Eagles. They'll force it back inside the Trojans' end. Out from behind the net, tangling it up with Mike McGurk. And again, played again off the Dashers and around before it's picked up by the Trojans. Lombardo ahead. Francis Knott couldn't contain. This one picked back up on the Eagles inside their own zone as they force it out. Finally picked back up as both clubs will finish their line change. 11:13 and counting in the second period as play continues. A shot as that's going to be held on to, this time by Noah Carver. And he will wisely hold on to it for a stoppage with 11:08 to go. And Troy Trojans hockey on the Troy Trojans Hockey Network is brought to you in part by Kev's See-Through Window Cleaning. commercial and residential throughout the entire Miami Valley. Contact Kev's see-through window cleaning today at 506-7764. This play continues inside the Trojan zone. This one up the near wing. Battling for it is McGurk. He'll pick it up with a head of steam and rushes in. Shot played high and is picked up. 10 seconds now to go. On the penalty to Colin Berghardt. 2-on-1 the other way for the Eagles as they'll get it deep inside the Trojan zone. 10:38 to go as the Trojans will return to full strength. And Colin Berghardt needs to tag up at the line and does. Finally back to 5-on-5 hockey as the Eagles will regroup out from behind their own trapezoid and send it ahead to center ice. Back in front of the benches. Fired in, played by Berghardt, still out on the ice after his penalty shift. He'll work it deep. And signals a change. Or does he, as here come the Eagles. Back inside their own zone with a little pressure from Francis Knott. Now ahead for Smith. Brady Smith tries to get it to the point. Crawford holds it in at the line momentarily before Smith is able to pump it in for a delayed offsides. Trojans tag up at the near side line before this one's cleared by the Eagles inside Trojan territory, scooped up by Berghardt. Sidesteps the hit back out to neutral ice as Francis Knott plays it. Right back on the far side as he'll dump it in and chase. Under 10 minutes now to go here in this second period. As he blows a tire out from behind the net. This one back on the half-board's right wing side. Smith under pressure. Can't contain as it's cleared back out to neutral ice. Force back in. Trojans will tag up. 4-1 the score in favor of the Trojans. As this one picked up by Cooper Sexton trying to get two. Or at least one officially. As that first goal, his first varsity goal from the first period, was actually credited to Ian Francis, not on the score sheet. However, I have an inkling that that will be changed, probably at the next intermission. As Brady Smith getting indoctrinated to varsity hockey as he gets worked over in the far wing corner. Played back to Colin Berghardt, who pumps it in now under 9 minutes to go. And counting in this middle stanza as the Eagles finally pick up the puck on the right wing side and send it ahead out to center ice. 4-1 hockey game. Trojans firmly in the lead as they'll work it out to the far side. Now stretch pass for the Eagles. Near side, centering feed. Picked back up by the Trojans at the line. Here's Jack Crawford. Playing it ahead was Crawford. Tried to get a piece of Gabby Paff, as Paff played it up the near wing, but had her pocket picked at the last second. And here come the Eagles the other way, too wide across the line. Scooped up, top of the slot, trying to backhander. That one played off the pad of Noah Carver. Out, wraparound, rebound, he scores! And so it was the second attempt wraparound that beat Noah Carver. And so that cuts the Trojans' lead down to 2, an even strength goal with 8 minutes and 7 seconds to make this a 4-2 hockey game as we approach 8 minutes now to go here in the second period. As you hear the call from Roger Mumpower downstairs, Trojans controlling out of their own zone. 7 minutes and 41 seconds to go here in the second period. As racing up the near wing all alone is Gavin Burris into the corner with pressure. Tries to stuff that one in off the side of the cage. Loose puck! Oh, through the blue paint! Tries to reach and scores! And that deficit right back where it needs to be at 3 for the Trojans. And so it's a 5-2 hockey game. Garrity will get credit for the goal with 7:23. And that is his second of the night. One more, as our astute cameraman Tractor Travis is telling us, we're on the watch list for Quinn Garrity tonight. 7:07 to go in the second period. It is a 5-2 hockey game in favor of the Trojans in front of a nice-sized Friday night exhibition crowd. As that one worked back ahead. Trying to get a piece of it down low was Andrew Condi. Back ahead now for Lombardo. Loose puck. Kevin Burris scores! Six minutes and 47 seconds now to go here in the second period. Now a 6-2 hockey game. And so it's Jack Crawford off the draw. Tries to set it up now ahead for Matty Logan. Second year senior, Matty Logan plays that one ahead. And so they're going to give that one to Burris, and there's going to be an elbowing call. And that'll bring the faceoff back inside the Trojans' end. Played off that shot, glove down, and Wisely will hold on. As it's Jack Crawford in the box for elbowing. 1:55 to go in that penalty. Brought to you by Clopay, America's favorite garage door. And so as play continues, that one knocked wide of the net. 6 minutes and 2 seconds to go. Back it again. Still trying to control. Under 6 minutes to go. Icing waved off as it's going to be Colin Berghardt back to chase. Fresh legs for both clubs. 1:13 remaining on that penalty to Jack Crawford. And so the Trojans will work it ahead. Here's Cooper Sexton. Hit off the puck down low, turns it back over. A shot knocked away as the Trojans clear momentarily before it's forced right back in. Eagles will play it before they tag up. 5 minutes and 24 seconds to go. And that one is up and out of play. Another souvenir puck. Souvenir puck brought to you by Team Gear, the official spirit store of Troy Trojans hockey. And a wonderful souvenir it is. From Brantford, Ontario. Excellent opportunity for an autograph as well. As that one's going to be signaled for icing. And icing the call. And so with 5 minutes and 12 seconds to go, faceoff's going to come back. With 39 seconds to go on that penalty to Jack McGurk in the Clay power play, presented by Clopay. As they'll work it out ahead. There's Francis Knott, plays it ahead for Lombardo. Now 2-on-2 the other way. Cam Lombardo. Played it off the side. Right back for Sexton. Couldn't get there in time as they'll regroup out to center ice. Eagles force that one ahead, glove down. Francis Knott's going to pick it up, and so no call. 7 seconds and counting on the Trojans penalty as Ian Francis Knott dangles through the slot. Loose puck out in front, but couldn't connect with Sexton at the last moment as the Trojans return to full strength. 4 minutes and 27 seconds to go in this second period as they'll work it back in around the Dashers. Near side. There's a high fly ball back into the far corner off the end glass. That one picked back up by Smith. They'll work it out in the slot. Knocked away at the last second as he blew some snow. And here come the Eagles back the other way. Under pressure and takes the hit. 4 minutes even to go in this 6-2 hockey game in favor of the Trojans here in this second period. Here's a big penalty right there. Oh, buddy. That one was a kneeing penalty if I've ever seen one. And so that'll put the Trojans back on the power play with 3 minutes and 53 seconds to go. And the faceoff will come back inside the Eagles zone. And here they come shorthanded, 2-on-1 the other way. Loose puck, tried to get it. Couldn't connect as it hopped over his stick at the last second. Icing signaled, and down on the ice, we have an injury down on the ice, it looks like. That is a nasty injury for Joey Burrett. Joey Brussel is down on the ice into the corner. As he went into the boards very awkwardly, it looked like he caught his shoulder first into the Dashers. And the Dashers do not give way there, as he was visibly in a lot of pain right after the whistle played. And holding that shoulder as the trainer, Kira Dorney, is out on the ice, sprinting to him, attending to him now. She is taking a look at him. He is up, sitting up. And that was a nasty injury right there. Going shoulder first, and luckily he is under his own power. And so as he heads off the you hate to see that with anyone. But just the way he went into the Dashers, you could tell. An awkward angle. Fortunately, he's under the care of the medical staff here in Troy. That's going to be an offsides call. As Kira Dorney still taking a look at him. Down low, they're going to keep that faceoff in the neutral zone in front of the clay zone. As Premier Health is the official sports medicine provider of Troy Trojans hockey and Troy High School athletics, partnering with Premier Health Partners and the Upper Valley Medical Center's Center for Sports Medicine. It's a perfect time for that plug, as there's a drive wide off the end boards around the Dashers, picked up by the Eagles. Back out to center ice, and that one's up and out of play. And so now 3:04 to go here in the second period. Faceoff is going to stay at center ice. And it's won cleanly back by the Trojans, as they'll force that one back ahead. Played ahead, there's a shot. High right on as McGurk had that one into the breadbasket of the netminder before this one's fired right back in. 2 minutes and 43 seconds now to go here in the second period. And a delayed offsides call will stop the clock now with 2 minutes and 40 seconds. 47 seconds to go on the Trojans' power play in this 6-2 Trojan lead. As the faceoff will come back inside the Trojans' end. And that'll be taken by Cam Lombardo on the glove side of Noah Carver. One cleanly, and he's going to rush it himself up ice. 2-on-2 across the line. There's Lombardo, loses the puck and takes a tumble at the end. He had it. As here come the Eagles back the other way, under pressure, breaking through traffic. Logan had it, but she's going to draw a penalty. And so it's going to be Maddie Logan headed off the ice. 2-minute minor for hooking. 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And so the senior ruled off the ice. A 6-2 hockey game. As this one played ahead, that one high off the stick as it's picked back up by Brady Smith. Here he is one-on-one. Smith a drive! No rebound on that one. And so the faceoff is going to stay inside the Eagle zone. And won by Smith back to the point cleanly. Held on and pumped back into the corner. This one out in front, played by the netminder. And he is going to hold on to it. With 2 minutes even to go here in the second period from the historic Hobart Arena in downtown Troy, I'm JT Szabo. Glad to have everybody tuning in tonight worldwide on Facebook.com/Troy Hockey. These games will also be available on demand all season long on the official YouTube channel of Troy Trojans Hockey and right here on Facebook. And so off the draw, that one picked up by the Eagles. They'll try to force it up on the near side before Crawford is able to force it back in. Even strength hockey now as we're back to 5-on-5 with under 2 minutes to go here in this second period. Here's the draw. Can't hold on to it. Here's Lombardo, still trying to force it ahead. Picked up by the defense, who struggles to have a cohesive effort there. Nearly kept it inside their own zone before they were able to fire it all the way down now with 1:22 to go. And counting here in this second stanza. Puck picked up inside the Trojan zone by Berghardt. They'll hold on to it before he gets hit off. Sends it rink wide as it's picked up by the netminder. And he will hold on to it. And so with 1:07 to go here in this second period, face-off will remain inside the Clay zone. And there's Joey Brussel. He is headed down the tunnel to the dressing room with the medical staff behind him. We'll try and get an update during the intermission, but most definitely an upper body injury sustained when he crashed into the boards as play continues on the near side. Played back by the Trojans. They'll hold on. Lost with 43 seconds in counting. Troy 6, Eagles 2 is the score on the big board here at Hobart as he gets hooked off the puck. This one right back inside the Trojans' end. Held at the line. This one will make it all the way back down inside the neutral zone as they'll tangle it up before they tag up for onside with 22 seconds in counting. Logan steps off the ice. Now we're back to even strength hockey as she has to tag up and finally does as we come into the final 10 seconds of this second period. Played up the wing. Right back ahead, and that's it for 2 periods of hockey here. 4 seconds and counting as the Eagles are able to clear. And that is it. 2 periods of hockey in the books to start the first 2 periods of the season. The Trojans in the lead 6-2 over the Oregon Clay Eagles. And so the Trojans will step off the ice as we get set for the intermission festivities. Chuck-a-puck coming up here shortly. As Roger Mumpower prepares their club, head coach Rick Szabo having a final few moments to speak with his club. It is a 6-2 hockey game after 2 periods. 1 period left to play. We are going to step aside for the second intermission. When we come back from the historic Hobart Arena, it is 3rd period. Trojans and the Eagles. Stay with us. Prizes. 4, 5. 5 prizes. I can't see your number of pictures. See the 4 or 5. Really great prizes. Chuck them out there now. Let's go. Got to chuck them.
you so much for playing. Thanks for playing. Give me 5. Give me 5. Thanks. Yep. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, you got the 50-50 drawing. Everybody got that? Well, we'll get it.
And welcome back inside the historic Hobart Arena. JT Szabo rejoining you. And I'm joined upstairs in the press box with a special guest. It is my son, John Wyatt Szabo, who is joining me this evening in the press box. This is John Wyatt's first opportunity to sit up in the press box with the rest of the staff. And so with 15 minutes up on the big board, we are set to go for third period action. And we're underway here in the third period. It is a 6-2 hockey game in the lead for the Trojans after an explosive offensive second period for Troy. And play continues. Somebody just realized he's on the payroll tonight as there's a rebound and scores. That is in for the goal. 14:33 to go here in the second period. It is a 7-2 hockey game. And so off the faceoff, turning into a color analyst back here as we speak. As this one played back around to Maddie Logan on the near side boards. She'll check him off the puck. This one right back into the corner. 14 minutes and 13 seconds now to go here in regulation. As this one works its way around for Brady Smith. They're going to give the goal to Gavin Burris. As the deflection picked back up by the Eagles, here they come back the other way. They're going to give Burris the hat trick credit as you hear Roger Mumpower, the public address announcer, with the call. And so that one played back around off the end boards. Scooped up, played by Carver. Loose puck in the slot. Finally picked up, he scores. And so just like that, it is a 7-3 hockey game. What'd you think of that goal?
Yeah.
And so if you're just joining us from the historic Hobart Arena, it is a 7-3 hockey game in favor of the Trojans. I'm JT Szabo, joined by my partner John Wyatt Szabo, as this one's going to be chipped up and out of play. And so as they give the announcement for that one hit off the protective mesh, and so we're going to do this one again. Now with 13:01 to go here in the third period, picked up by Colin Berghardt. He'll pick it up off a skate down low before this one. Loose puck in the slot, and a beautiful save! Stacking the pads, making this one off the deflection. Goaltender with a great sprawling save through the paint. Was able to make it before this one tripped back out to the neutral ice and right back in as the bouncing puck inside the clay zone. Finally picked up by Crawford on the near wing. Excellent goaltending there on that side-to-side pass. 12 minutes and 24 seconds to go. 7-3, Trojans in the lead as the Eagles will send that one the length of the ice. Icing is waved off as play continues. Shots on goal at this point, 24-8 in favor of the Trojans, where they lead on the scoreboard 7-3. Isn't that right? And so here come the Trojans, one-on-one back the other way. Here's Garrity, a drive. Wrister wide right off the end boards. Back on the point for Miles Schumann. Holds it in at the line before this one fires right back inside the zone. Played on the half board. Sexton couldn't get it in time. Schumann gives chase out through center ice. As fresh from the bench is Brady Smith. Picks it up, sidesteps a hit. Knocked away by the Eagles as they'll force their way right back inside the Trojans' end. Hit off the puck was Schumann. This one right back for McGurk as the captain fires it around the Dashers. Back on the far wing side. Here's a big sprawling hit as Francis Knott is able to send it up ahead for Smith. Had it knocked off his stick at the last second before he regains possession. Sends it rink wide as this one's picked back up. This time by McGurk. Here's a long shot. Rebound knocked away and the net is knocked off with no goal. And so they're going to say no goal on the play as the net was knocked off the mooring. What'd you think?
No goal on the game.
John Wyatt agrees, no goal. And that'll keep it a 7-3 hockey game.
Look, Mommy. My face is
And so this one played back around. Trying to control it back and around. Picked back up by the Eagles on the far side boards and sends it ahead out to center. Giving chase is Berghardt. He'll work it into the far corner and around the Dashers. Up the wing is Sexton, who's able to kick it ahead out to center ice as the Eagles regroup at their own line. Rink-wide outlet pass in on Trojans territory as Carver comes out of the net to play it out of the trapezoid. Leaves it off for Berghardt. Long stretch pass held on at the line by the Eagles. In onside, low on the ice, rebound in the slot, knocked away by Crawford. And the Trojans get away with one there as they'll get wholesale changes as we approach 10 minutes to go here in the third period. Loose puck picked up by Lombardo. Gets it back ahead for McGurk, who couldn't hold on. Matty Logan blows a tire as this one's scooped up by McGurk at the red stripe and fired right back in. Trojans will tag up. And they'll force it all the way down for an icing call. Now with 9:46 to go. And so the Trojans will put a fresh set of legs out on the ice to take this draw. And so the faceoff will come back. And it's won cleanly by the Trojans. McGurk, a high shot off the high glass. That one right back to Matty Logan. Takes the hit on the far side boards. Played it at the point. Knocked away at the last moment. Going to give chase is McGurk at his own line. Forced back inside Troy territory. Sends it rink wide for Andrew Condi. Give and go now. Picked up by Logan at the line, who forces it in. Played again by Matty Logan before this one's forced back out to neutral ice. 9:13 to go.
Dad.
Big hit.
In the wall.
And so they'll force that one again. Picked up by Lombardo off his skates. Worked it ahead out to center ice. Here's Andrew Condi. One-on-one, drops it back for Lombardo. He had time. Picked up by Crawford at the point. As they'll wrap it around the Dashers now for Matty Logan on the far side. 8 minutes and 48 seconds to go here in regulation. As Logan sends it ahead for Condi. One-timer back to Logan. Couldn't connect on it in time. Back to the point. As that one's going to be cleared the length of the ice. Icing waved off as Carver comes way out of the net to play it. Leaves it off for Crawford behind the net and out of the trapezoid on the left wing side. Stretch pass. Didn't connect with Logan. Offsides as the Eagles tag up. Force it back in offsides. Try it again. And this one will allow the Trojans to change. 8 minutes and 14 seconds to go. 7-3 Trojans in the lead against the Oregon Clay Eagles. In game number 1 of the 2021-2022 season. Preseason exhibition game here live from the historic Hobart Arena. Here's a centering feed. Goaltender made the save. Rebound, kick back to the captain, Mike McGurk. Holds onto it on the half boards. Under pressure down low. Still with the puck. Here's Brady Smith with a shot. Loose puck under the goaltender. Knocked away by the defenseman through the slot. And that'll force the Trojans to regroup. Schumann fired it right back in. Quickly the length of the ice. Tipped up through neutral ice, so no icing called. Played by Carver, and that'll allow Oregon Clay a line change. Hit with a high stick, but play continues. Right back ahead, shot wide left off the end boards. Picked up into the far corner, hit into the corner as the student section gives accolades there for the captain, Mike McGurk. One-touch pass, in onside. Trojans feeling the pressure will ice this one all the way down now for an icing call. And that will be enough to stop the clock with 7 minutes and 7 seconds to go here in regulation. JT Szabo and John Wyatt Szabo joining you from high above Hobart Arena tonight for preseason exhibition game number 1. As this one played, bouncing puck wide of the net on the right wing side, picked up by Colin Berghardt. Sidesteps a hit in the corner, takes the second hit, but is able to get it clear out to center. And here comes Andrew Condi the other way. Now back for Brady Smith, who bobbles the puck. Down low, Condi shoots! He scores!
Goal.
That sure looked like Andrew Condi's goal to me, and indeed it is. His first varsity goal, coming with 6:42 to go in the third period. First varsity goal is always a wonderful experience. I still remember mine, coming right here in this very building against the Gahanna Lincoln Lions many years ago. As play continues out from behind the clay zone. Let's go downstairs to Roger Mumpower. And so Andrew Condi picking up his first varsity goal. Had a large applause from the other freshmen that are in the building tonight. And certainly a lot of pucks are being saved and marked with tape tonight. A special occasion for a lot of these varsity athletes getting their first taste of OHSAA hockey. 5 minutes and 56 seconds to go in regulation as Gabby Paff is able to force that ahead. Here's freshman Ian Francis Knott. Picks up the loose puck. Tries to go rink wide off the short side. Gabby Paff shoots, rebound, down low, kicked in, goaltender saves it. And we get a stoppage now with 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go. And talk about not stopping until you hear the whistle. They were digging at that one. And so with 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go, face-off won cleanly by the Eagles as they'll work it out of their own zone. On the far side in front of the benches now across the red stripe, they'll carry it in offsides. That one's going to be touched up. And offsides to call now with 5 minutes and 6 seconds to go here in the third period. And the faceoff remained inside the neutral zone. And indeed it is. Picked up by the Eagles. They'll play it around. Back for Brady Smith. He'll work it ahead for Andrew Condi. Already has one. Condi tried to get it through. And so 5 minutes now to go here in regulation. We'll play that one back around. Trying to hold on. That's going to be touched up offsides. To stop the clock, just under 5 minutes to go here in the third period. And so as play continues, back on the near wing side, Trojans in the lead 8-3 against the Oregon Clay Eagles tonight. A Friday night preseason matchup, non-conference, as the Trojans continue their slate of non-conference exhibition games tomorrow evening down in Cincinnati, as well as next weekend right here at home against Toledo Whittier. And a Sunday afternoon game as there's a shot save made right on. Eagles control their own slot. This one a shot, gloved away, loose puck back in the far wing corner. Delayed penalty coming And that one's going to go against Troy. And it's going to be a roughing call with 4:04 to go. And that's going to go against the Trojans. Gavin Burris. Which you got to give him a little bit of a pass, seeing as 1 week ago exactly he was on the football field battling it out. So you got to give him a little bit of leeway there for some of the rough stuff. Got to shake off some of the football. And that's what preseason's all about. And so Burris is in the box for 2 minutes to bring up yet another AccuTool Precision Manufacturing power play for the Trojans. Head coach Rick Szabo electing to use his one timeout with 4 minutes and 4 seconds to go.
Fans, the Trojans return home to Hobart Arena on Sunday, November the 14th. They host Toledo Woodland Campers at 5:45. Preseason for the whole family on November the 14th. We entertain the Woodland Campers here at Hobart Arena. Preseason, whole family.
And so the face-off will remain inside the Trojans' end. And it's cleared all the way down. Good effort by Lombardo. Shoot, scores! Cameron Lombardo, breakaway goal. Makes this a 9-3 hockey game with under 4 minutes to go in regulation. A beautiful slap shot beats him 5-hole. Lombardo getting credit for the goal unassisted. As that one's going to be picked up by the Eagles. They'll work their way out at the line. Big hit there. Trying to control the loose puck. And that one's going to ice it all the way down free of charge. 1:23 to go on the Trojans' penalty as they remain short-handed. Gavin Burris in the box. 9-3 the score. Trojans in the lead. As this one played up the near wing, back into the far corner. Deflected away. Carver got a brief glimpse of that one. As that one's going to be picked back up by Brady Smith and chipped all the way down, played by the netminder. As Cameron Lombardo's shorthanded breakaway goal made this a 9-3 hockey game as the Trojans are able to clear. Under 3 minutes now to go here in regulation. Crowd still in the building on their feet watching the Trojans debut for the 2021-2022 season as Carver is going to hold on to it. And so that'll elect to hold on with 2 minutes and 32 seconds to go here in the third period. And so the face-off will remain inside the Trojans' end. And it's one up the boards. Laid it ahead. As he'll race the loose puck down. No icing called with 2 minutes and 18 seconds to go here in the third. And so that one's picked up by Francis Knott. He'll hold on to it now, racing up the ice. A low wrister hit off the inside of the post and wide. Under 2 minutes now to go here in regulation as the third period nearly concluded. That shot by Gavin Burris held on to, and they are going to say no goal to that one. One minute and 53 seconds to go here in the third period. Trojans' next home game, Sunday, November 14th at 5:45 against the Whittier Panthers from suburban Toledo. We'll have that game for you right here on Facebook.com/Troy Hockey. And, of course, all of these games are archived for on-demand watching on the official YouTube channel of Troy Trojans Hockey. Glad to have you along for the ride. JT Szabo, John Wyatt Szabo with the call as the Clay Eagles move that one up neutral ice. Played up the wing. There's Ian Francis Knott. Gets that one deep inside the zone and around the boards as he's called off the ice at the end of his shift. Eagles work that back to the point and held on by Burkhart. High shot, just wide glove side off the end boards. 1 minute and 22 seconds to go here in regulation. 9-3, Trojans firmly in the driver's seat of this one. Played up the Dashers on the half boards. Back to Burkhart, low on the ice. That one saved by the pads, and he will hold on to it. And we'll do that one again. With the faceoff remaining inside the Clay zone. 1:08 to go here in the third period. As the faceoff, one away, shoots and scores. .103 to go, and another goal for the Trojans. That makes this a 10-3 hockey game. And so a 7-goal differential as we approach the 1 minute mark of regulation. Now 54 seconds and counting in this hockey game. What I would consider a very good tune-up for the Trojans headed into the rest of the season. And a lot of confidence being built tonight by the 5 new varsity players, including the freshman line. Brady Smith getting the goal. As a delayed penalty coming to Brady Smith. He's going to be going down as it's touched up by the Trojans. And that's going to be a penalty to Brady Smith. A little bit of an interference call. They're going to call it head contact. Is the official penalty with 24.0 seconds to go. And a timeout. Head contact, the call against Brady Smith. And so timeout on the ice. As both teams get set for this face-off. As the Trojans line up for the draw. That one won cleanly by Gabby Paff as she's able to get that one ahead. 16 seconds and counting in this game as it works its way all the way around. 10 seconds. There's the shot. Saved by Carver off the high glass. That held in. They're working way back on the far side boards as the Trojans continue to... And that's all we got. And so a couple roughing penalties to end the hockey game.
Sunday, November the 14th, free admission for the whole family. Toledo Whitburg here at the Hobart Arena, 5:45. November the 14th.
And so at the end of 3 regulation periods, it is the Troy Trojans 10 and the Clay Eagles 3. This has been a presentation of the Troy Trojans Hockey Network presented by Team Gear. For our entire crew, John Wyatt Szabo, I'm JT Szabo. Until next time, good night.